Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
Back here at the Fox Network Center for the Visa Halftime with the full house. Let's tell you that Steve Beuerlein is having himself an outstanding first half. 12 of 13, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, and look at it.
Nice job. Pumps left, safety out of there. Darren Woodson can't stay up with Rocket down the middle. Nobody there. Post route's the thing to do. There's your touchdown. Automatically 7-3 Carolina. Beuerlein back, little post, back out. Rocket, good job, Kevin Smith. Too aggressive, misses, 14-3. Then back. Look at this catch by Ernie Mills. Jason Garrett, 200 yards passing in the first half. You're looking at Beuerlein. He is, what, like 12 for 13, 160 yards. But Panthers leading by 4 over the Cowboys.
Happy birthday to Steve Young as they send that sign from the Saints. And, boy, he helped to set up his own presence.
Man coverage. Who covers the quarterback out of the backfield, Chris? There you go. So what do? You get pressure. You scramble down to the 1-yard line. This leads to a misdirection. You do misdirection to get the linebackers crossed up, running into one another. Excellent run by Steve outside. Greg Clark hooked up to the back of the end zone. 1-yard touchdown pass. It's all 49ers. The Saints have only crossed the the 50-yard line one time. 13-0 49ers.
Try this book title, Terry. It's a tale of two cities, and these are the worst of times.
I wrote that for you right before we went live on the air. Green back from behind. Al Wallace knocks the ball loose. Brandon Whitting recovers, takes off. Looks like Howie running with the ball. A little thick in the legs, 24 yards, no score. Now, look at the linebacker cover the back out of the backfield. Chris, what coverage is this?
I'm not sure.
Man coverage. Quarterback's uncovered. Touchdown, 7-0. Now 10-3 at the half, Eagles.
And the quiz will continue. Who's the running back for New England?
Drew Bledsoe having
Robert Edwards.
Robert Edwards. 2 touchdowns today, 24-0. Patriots all over. What about the Steelers?
Steelers are looking good. Cordell with a big run. The bus is rolling. Steelers looking good.
How do you like that kicker?
I like him.
All right. Oilers 9-2 over the Ravens there. Bills, what are they doing?
Well, they're losing 12-7, but Doug Flutie's throwing a touchdown pass. He's in for the injured Johnson.
All right, we're going to talk about this Carolina-Dallas game. Boy, I tell you, Steve Beuerlein, TB, on record is saying that he liked Beuerlein better, and he's showing why.
And I think just his presence in the huddle, they just look like a different team because they have some leadership. We talked about the problems all these young quarterbacks are having around the league. Steve Beuerlein almost with a little chip on his shoulder coming into this one. You can almost tell he was thinking, you know what, guys, it is my time right now. This is my team, and he has taken over and done a terrific job. And Raghib Ismail is finally looking like the guy that we thought he could be coming out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is more important than whether Terry likes Steve Beuerlein is that offense and that team likes Steve Beuerlein. And that quarterback, in terms of how he's perceived by his teammates, often dictates how successful the team is. And obviously, Kerry Collins was not in sync with his players, and more importantly, his offensive linemen. And when your offensive linemen don't like you as a quarterback, there's problems. I played with Steve Beuerlein. He's an everyman's man, the kind of guy that a team can rally around. He's a real vocal guy, a leader, tough guy, another Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, but you know, if you go back and you always look at quarterbacks and people quarterbacks off the bench, quality quarterbacks. Jason Garrett with the Cowboys in this first half, over 200 yards and a touchdown. But Beuerlein, remember the upset of the 49ers back in Carolina? Well, who engineered that, and who was he throwing to? The tight end, Walls down the middle. Beuerlein can get it done in big games. Now, over the long haul of the season, we're going to find out because it's his team, and you're right. Give me a guy, may not have as much talent, but give me a guy with heart, a guy I can depend on, and the lineman will kill for us.
Since we're passing around kudos, we got to give Chris Collinsworth his kudo. Who did he say was the most underrated team? Which team?
The Patriots.
That's right. What are they doing in the first half?
24-zip.
24-0. All right, folks. San Francisco right now.
5 weeks. You
19-0. Wait for the point after. The Visa halftime will continue right after this.
Right, and we blow smoke.
Back at Texas Stadium, the Carolina Panthers 14, the Cowboys 10 at halftime. You know, John, you and I stand in front of the camera and get a chance to talk, and we have so many valuable members of our team that help get the show on the air. We lost a most valuable member this week, our audio engineer, Bob Siderman.
And, you know, he was such a special person, and, you know, when you're together with someone for 18 years, as we were, it's more than a working relationship. Every week when we would drive up, the first guy that would come on the bus to say hello was Spider. And he was more than just someone we worked with. He was one of our best friends. And The thing about Spider is he cared.
Yep.
You know, he cared about his job. He was the best in the world. He cared about his friends. He was the best friend in the world. He cared about the people that he worked with, and he was the best with them. He cared about his family, and he was a great father and a great husband. And to lose someone like Bob Siderman, he just can't be replaced with us.
Indeed, you're right. And when God's choir starts to sing Amazing Grace, we know one thing. The sound is going to be good. We'll return after these messages from your local Fox station.
Each week during the second half of our games, Fox Sports will have 2 interactive questions. You call it and ask the pros. These questions are for those of you that are logged onto the internet while watching our game. You can participate by logging on to foxsports.com. This week's You Call It. Which team, the Panthers or the Cowboys, will have the most total yards in the second half of today's game? Join us on the internet. Log on to foxsports.com, and we wish you good luck. This week's Ask the Pros question is from Ross of Milpitas, California. What can the NFL do about the growing number of quarterback injuries?
I don't think the NFL can do anything about it. I think they've done a good job in all their safety rules and protecting the quarterbacks and helping the offenses. I think now it's up to the players and it's up to the coaches. I think the coaches can do less hot reads. You let a guy come at a quarterback and make him make a hot read. I think they can do more maximum protection. Like we saw in this game where they go shotgun, they keep 2 protectors right there next to the quarterback. And I just think that everyone, you just can't put it on the league and the officials. I think it has to be put on the players and on the coaches.
John, explain what a hot read is.
A hot read is when they bring a linebacker and you're not going to block him, but you have to throw in the area that he vacated.
Dallas kickoff by Michael Bates for Carolina. And he has got good speed. Bates is out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. Bates gets out of bounds at about the 28.
And here's going to be an example of that hidden yardage. This is going to be against Carolina, but if you look, Carolina now, instead of starting at the 30, look where they're going to start. And that penalty won't show up in statistics.
That's that thing that Don Capers was talking about. And on almost every kick, it seems like this happens.
Return, holding, number 53, 10-yard penalty, first down.
See, but it's not really a 10-yard penalty because Bates brought it out to the 30.
Right.
So instead of being on the 30, look where it is. It's on the 10.
On the 10.
So in essence, it's a 20-yard penalty. So 10 of those penalty yards are going to be hidden penalty yards within the kicking game.
And they will kill you. That make you change your whole approach.
Yeah, it seems like on near every kickoff return it's happening.
Handoff is to Anthony Johnson, and there is nothing for him. First half statistics. Panthers 26 yards rushing, the Cowboys 68. 7 points for Carolina off turnovers. And those are another statistic that'll get you.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look, other than that, I mean, the turnover and then the 7 points here, this year was about even. And if it weren't for that turnover and touchdown, the score would be about even.
2nd and 10, 2 tight ends set up for Carolina. Steve Beuerlein, the quarterback. From behind. Beuerlein taken down by Greg Ellis.
I'll tell you, Greg Ellis just does a speed rush. He's right here, and he's just going to come right around the corner and catch Beuerlein right there. That's not a move or anything. He just comes with a speed, the arm over, and he's right into Beuerlein. Here he is right here. Now watch him here. Comes there, takes that left arm over. Now once he gets that left arm over, then he's right in Steve Beuerlein's face.
He went around Rob Bollinger. 3rd and 19 at the 1. Beuerlein, the ball's loose. The handoff is high, and the Cowboys are saying they got it. And they did. The Cowboys come up with a fumble at the Carolina 1 or 2. Kevin Mathis came up with the ball.
Well, it started with bad things happening for Carolina. First, it was a penalty. Second, it was a sack by Ellis. And then the third play is a fumble right here. It wasn't by a hit. It was William Floyd didn't get control of the ball from the handoff.
Just on the exchange.
You talk about bad things happening in a row. That was boom, boom, boom.
The penalty. And then the negative yards on first down. The fumble on second down. And the Cowboys have the ball first and goal at the 2.
Yeah, the pass protection of Rob Bollinger trying to block Greg Ellis. That kind of set the tempo for things. And what field position to get a turnover in for the Cowboys.
Smith is the deep back. And Emmitt Smith gets the carry, breaks to the 1 as the Panthers convert. They almost split them.
That was an interesting formation. What they tried to do is get a double lead. Usually you have one back in there leading, but here you're going to see they get 2 backs to lead to the side that Emmitt Smith is going to come to. Nicky Sualua is in there along with Moose Johnston, so that was a double fullback formation. Now they have a full house backfield. 3 backs in there.
That's Sualua that was on the move, and here's Jason Garrett, and he is rushed and down at the 6 by Kevin Green.
I see they tried to fake that lead like they were going to do it to the right side. You see here they put a lead here. They have another lead right back here. They're going to fake it and then go play pass. You see the fake there, but it didn't fake Kevin Green at all. And if you're gonna fake him, you still have to block Kevin Green, because Kevin Green doesn't care about that inside run. He is going to go after the quarterback.
3rd and goal from the 6 now.
That was Kevin Green's 143rd career sack.
And Garrett knows they're not going to have time to get this off, so he takes a timeout.
And the fans are booing because they remember the time management at the end of the half.
14-10 Carolina.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by First Union, your guide to the financial world.
Back at Texas Stadium, Carolina 14, Dallas 10. We're in the 3rd quarter. Chris Warren in the backfield. 3rd down from the 6, 3rd and goal. Warren, touchdown on the shuttle pass.
That was the old trick. What they did is they put Deion Sanders in there, and everyone, the whole Carolina Panthers sideline would say, watch out for Deion, watch out for Deion. He goes in motion. Now watch Deion. He's going in motion here. They think he's going to get the ball. Now they go to shovel pass right here to Chris Warren. But watch what Deion does. Everyone's worried. See him waiting out here for Deion, and that just opens the middle, because they were all pointing before the play. Watch 21, watch 21, watch Deion. They put him in motion, fake to him, and throw that shuffle pass to Chris Warren. A heck of a play.
Yeah.
The other trick him didn't work. That trick him worked.
It was time to pull up. Cunningham's extra point is good. Chris Warren into the end zone, and that puts the Cowboys in the lead 17-14. Texas Stadium, the Cowboys have taken the lead 17-14 in the 3rd quarter. Chris Warren with the touchdown. Kobe going to kick off. He'll hang up there a while. Michael Bates fields it at the 3. And Bates. A flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. 3 flags on the play.
This is going to be some more of that hidden yardage again.
Yep.
And that's the thing that's been killing Carolina. I mean, their field position in the second half has just been terrible, and then they add bad things to it. But watch a touchdown here. You want to watch some good blocks. Watch Shiver and the block he makes, Clay Shiver. Watch Larry Allen. Just take your pick. I mean, it's going to. I think the thing is loosened up by Deion Sanders, but watch those blocks in there. I mean, they just put guys on their back. So part of it was a pretty good trick called by Chan Gailey. Part of it was a good block by Clay Shiver. Part of it was good running by Chris Warren. There was a lot of good parts of that play.
Illegal block on the kickoff is the call. And it's first down Carolina at their own 10. Two tight end setup. Anthony Johnson gets a couple of yards before he's wrestled to the ground. Chad Hennings in the pile along with Brett Strickland.
Well, Carolina is playing now with Rob Bollinger, the left tackle. We know because Blake Brockermeyer is out. Frank Garcia is their normal center, is playing left guard. Brian Stoltenberg is the center, so they don't really have a lot of power on that left side or a lot of experience. I mean, I think that's where they're going to get trouble with now in their pass protection is right over in this area here with stunning and just talent.
Second and 7. Anthony Johnson, the ball carrier. Chad Hennings and a whole host of Cowboys bring him down.
Yeah, and you see what happens when field position goes against you and you start to fumble and things are going against you. Now the Cowboy defense has gotten up. Now they're getting their 8-man up line up there. You know, Darren Woodson is up in the line of scrimmage making tackles, and for the Carolina Panthers to get back in this game, they're going to have to loosen up this Cowboy defense again.
Beuerlein pointing out the defenders. And back to throw it. Pass is complete. Caught by Anthony Johnson just short of a first down. When he fell, he went backwards.
And now they're going to have to punt. And now they're going to have to punt to Deion Sanders. Now he's going to have the position where he can, good field position where they're going to have to punt it right to him. And then he can squeeze it and he can look. And he can find that hole, and before he does those things, he can get this crowd excited.
Deion.
You've never seen anyone ever do this in the history.
No, I haven't.
Me neither.
That doesn't look like, well, it doesn't look like the NFL I played in.
Oh, there's a penalty.
For dancing?
Delay offense.
We were talking to Chan Gailey yesterday. He says that, that he may have the opportunity to coach two of the best players that have ever played the game. One was Larry Allen, and the second one, or the other one, was Deion Sanders.
And the other one, he said, I might have 3 when Troy gets back.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't know, but more people are talking about Larry Allen as the best offensive lineman, not only football today, but in football that has ever played.
When you talk to the other teams and you mention Larry Allen, they just say, oh my gosh.
They say the same thing about Deion Sanders.
He signaled fair catch, and that was a directional kick, and I'm sure because he had to aim it, they lost some yardage, and Dallas takes over. Dallas by 3 over Carolina with 9:58 left in the third quarter. Steve Beuerlein has been the Carolina quarterback since the beginning.
And he was talking to Muhammad there and probably explaining why Muhammad hasn't caught many balls today, because Deion Sanders has been on it.
This is Emmitt Smith. Emmitt cuts back and breaks out of the pack. Lost the ball. I think it bounced right back to him.
That's not a bad place to run. If you're going to run the ball, to get right behind Larry Allen, Nate Newton here, LaFleur, their big tight end, and just run that power play with Moose Johnson. But watch Larry Allen. I mean, he just takes his guy, and there's no way that his guy is going to make the play. Then he'll come off, and he'll get another block. So Larry Allen made 2 blocks to help create that hole on that play.
LaFleur got a good block. First and 10. Here's Jason Garrett back to throw it, going deep. Michael Irvin inside the 20 to about the 15.
So here they can do it, and you see Doug Evans again up there. Now he's trying to play tight, but you know with that cast on the thumb that he can't use that hand. So he's getting up there. Early in the game, he was playing off, and they were hitting in front of him. And now he gets up there tight, and they just get in behind him. I'll tell you, Jason Garrett threw a perfect pass. Watch how he just drops it right in there. Because there was, I mean, Doug Evans wasn't bad, and the free safety, Tony Veland, was also over there. He had to drop it in between the two of them.
Carolina calls the timeout. Michael Irvin, 5 catches, 127 yards.
Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Audi and the dashing and daringly beautiful A6. By Texaco, a world of energy. And by IBM. Are you ready for e-business?
Beautiful. Now, right at the end of the show over there on the right-hand side, the Kings of the win.
Let's watch the play again. Here's Michael Irvin. Here's Doug Evans. Here's Tony Veland. And now we'll just let it go. And watch what Jason Garrett has to do. There's a hole right there, and he has to hit right in there. And watch him. He throws it perfectly. Now watch how the hole narrows down, but he still drops it right in there. That's a heck of a thing. You know, you see something, you see a guy open for a step, then you see a hole between the corner and the safety, and you have to drop it in there as that hole continues to narrow.
Dallas obviously has been a good second half team. Billy Davis on the reverse. Spectacular looking, but only about 3 or 4 yards.
You see the guy that made the tackle over there was Doug Evans. I mean, he is, you know, you can say that they're working on him, and they are, but here's a guy out there that has 2 pins in his left thumb, has a cast on his hand, you know, and is out there playing and fighting, and they're trying to do everything that they can to him. I mean, they're running at him. They're making him come up and support and force and make those tackles. They're throwing at him every chance they can, and he's out there battling.
Second down, Emmitt Smith inside the 5, down to about the 2, maybe the 1.
I think this is a thing that's a difference between this Cowboy offense now with Chan Gailey. A big part of it is that they don't only have the power running, but now they've added finesse running, where they're moving their linemen, they're pulling guards and tackles and doing more of that. Before it was always kind of just straight ahead zone power running. Now it's a little finesse and angle type blocking to get their running.
We haven't said much about Big Flozell Adams, who started at right guard, but he's done a good job as well.
That whole offensive line has done a good job.
Emmitt, touchdown. Emmitt Smith's 116th career rushing touchdown.
And then you're going to see it. He's going to come right in this area here. This is just man blocking. And I'll tell you, Nate Newton gets the thing started. Larry Allen puts it out. And as you said, Emmitt Smith could have just walked that one in there.
He trails only Marcus Allen. And rushing touchdown. Richie Cunningham for the extra point, which is good. Emmitt Smith. Is that intense? He's going to score. You know he's going to score. (24-14) Dallas. It's the only NFL team the Cowboys have never beaten. They lead by 10. Toby going to kick it off. Bates out of the end zone. That was a good play by somebody. Charlie Williams, I believe.
Let's watch that touchdown again here. Watch Emmitt Smith's eyes. Now he is looking right at Nate Newton and Clay Schreiber. He is going to key off of them. Then he knows this is where he's looking. He's looking right here and here. And then he's going to run off this block and this block of Larry Allen. Now Watch as we start here. You see the double team there? They start inside. Watch Larry Allen right here and the job that he does. And that just opens up. I mean, what a hole that is. Nate Newton pushing it in. That's what Emmitt Smith was looking at with a concentration in his eyes. Larry Allen out.
Beuerlein. Walls. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Pat and John, what a birthday present Steve Young is delivering for himself today. 3 touchdown passes today. This one to Garrison Hurst. 33 yards to pay dirt as he turns on the afterburners. San Francisco all over the Saints, 28-0. Back to Pat and John.
And back at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys leading by 10. Second down for Carolina and 2 for a first. Anthony Johnson. He's got the first down.
You know, seeing those 49ers score like that after what happened to them last week in Buffalo, you knew that they weren't going to go in that direction. I mean, they just have too many weapons on offense, and I think a lot of these teams in this league that are the good teams, they're going to lose some games once in a while because they don't have dominant defenses. And I think the 49ers are one of those teams.
They don't have depth.
Minnesota.
No depth either.
Yeah, is one of those teams. I think Denver's one of those teams. Great offenses. Championship offenses, but defenses that you can get to.
Steve Beuerlein. And a flag on the play. 5:45 left in the third quarter. Dick Hantak.
Ball start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. No first down.
Tonight it's game 4 of the NLCS as Denny Nagel looks to keep the Braves postseason hopes alive when he squares off with Joey Hamilton and the Padres in San Diego. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on Fox, your home of the 1998 World Series.
You know, October's a pretty good month, isn't it? I mean, you got all this baseball, you got, you know, college, high school, pro football. You got Halloween coming up, hockey starting. Pretty soon there'll be frost on the pumpkin, and then we can really be talking.
Oh. Well, November the 1st. We'll be in Green Bay, and then will be some frost on that pumpkin.
Yeah, and then the 49ers are going to be coming into Green Bay to try and knock some frost off that pumpkin.
Dick Hantak again, and it's holding
Offense,
against
number 85.
Panthers. Wesley Walls, the guilty party.
10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
You know, the thing is, it's the penalties in the field position.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Beuerlein is 14 out of 15. So, I mean, he's come in there and he's done it. But it's the penalties, and not only the penalties, but then the result of the penalties is the field position is so poor that they can't go to work.
Starting field position this half. They're 0-14. That's a pretty tough road. Here's Beuerlein. Quick pass outside. Caught by Muhsin Muhammad. He's a big, good-looking wide receiver.
Now, we know that if you're going to throw the ball, this is a guy with this, you know, if they're just going to rush 4, you have to get Leon Lett back. And one of the things that Dom Capers was worried about last night was Leon Lett just taking our guard and walking him right back into the quarterback. That time he took Messina, walked him back into the quarterback, and then beyond the quarterback.
2nd and 16. Cowboys blitzing. Panthers picked it up. The pass is caught by Ismail. He lost it. And the Cowboys will recover the fumble. That's Kevin Mathis. And Mathis gives the Cowboys the ball back. And now a little scuffle goes on after it's over. Beuerlein, a perfect strike.
That.
Good throw by Beuerlein again.
That was a heck of a throw because you just said there's a blitz and you see the pressure coming. Here's Raghib Ismail here. He gets a step here. The ball is thrown right in his hands. He just puts it away. Then it was stripped out. Just as he put it away, it was knocked out, and then boom, it went forward, and it gets recovered back here.
And so Dallas will take over at their own 27. Kevin Mathis, who made the recovery. Moose Johnson in front of Emmitt Smith. Garrett gives to Emmitt. No gain. Jeff Brady made the stop.
Now, I think that any time you talk about this Cowboy offensive line, and I've said this for years, you always have to put Moose Johnston in there because, you know, he blocks along him. He's just like an extra guard in there. And now I think David LaFleur is the same thing, you know, with the tight end. You know, it used to be all, you know, the front five and Moose Johnston. Now it's the front five, Moose Johnston, and David LaFleur.
LaFleur is 6'7", about 260. Maybe more, maybe taller.
Done.
That's Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt gets near first down yardage, stopped by Brent Alexander.
Yeah, they're going to run this left side, and this is a place that you want to work. Again, here's Nate Newton. He got a man on him. Larry Allen doesn't. He just kind of pulls around. They just follow Nate. Nate stays with his block, and Emmitt Smith just runs right off Nate Newton's block.
The old sucker play. Pull Larry Allen. Nobody home.
Nate Newton looks like a new guy, doesn't he? He got down to, in the off-season, and he usually weighs around 350 pounds in the off-season. He got down to 296 pounds, then worked his way back up to 320.
I think you're kind at 350. Here's Emmitt Smith, and he'll get, I believe, enough for a first down.
But this is Nate Newton's 13th year in the league. He just got overpowered on that last play. But he said for 11 years he could do it his way. And he said in his 12th year he couldn't. He's just going to get overpowered right here. He's just going to get knocked back. But the play's going away. You see, he gets off the ball late. And then as a result of that, he just gets knocked on his back. He doesn't want that one showing. He said last year the weights just killed him. I mean, then the injuries, then he couldn't get back in shape, and he had a terrible year. And then so he said he knew he had to do something, and he did something this last offseason.
Jason Garrett has caught by Michael Irvin.
That's an old Dallas Cowboy. That's that skinny post. Yep. That's that Ernie Zampese play. Skinny post where you're going to see Michael Irvin come here and then right in here, and it's going to be a timing pass. You see, as he breaks right here, the ball is going to be there.
It was there, too.
That was, yeah. I mean, Jason Garrett is throwing that thing, not as much mustard on it as Troy Aikman, but with the same type of timing that Troy Aikman had on that skinny post.
First down, Dallas at the Carolina 44. Two tight ends set up this time. Emmitt Smith. Just a couple.
You know, the way football's played today, Pat, the tight end and the fullback are really interchangeable. You see that play? They start the tight end, Bjornsson right there, and he starts out like a double tight end. Then he comes in motion, and when the ball is snapped, he's in the location fullback. So in the location of the fullback. So sometimes you'll see the back up there like the tight end, and then sometimes you'll see like that play, the tight end in the position of the fullback.
2nd and 8. Carolina 42. Emmitt Smith to the 30, to the 29.
Again, that time he just follows Moose Johnston. Now Moose Johnston is trying to move around and not show you where he's going to lead. And you see he's going to end up right here. Then he's going to come right out here and get the lead block. But again, Larry Allen makes a good block at the point right here. You see, he hooks his guy. Here's Moose's block right here. That's the one that just gets Emmitt Smith about 5 more yards.
You've often pointed out Carolina Panther injured. You've often pointed out that the key to the fullback's block is you got to keep going on through it, and Moose Johnston really does that well.
Yeah, the fullback has to get into and out of the hole. You can't keep any of your parts in the hole because all you'll do is clog it up. You know, it's not only the block of the tackle and the block of the fullback, but then the wide receiver right here has to seal it. You see, he has to do just enough to keep this guy from here not getting into this lane. So we had the good block by Larry Allen to create the soft corner. Then we had Moose Johnston on the lead, and Michael Irvin out there just making enough seal there that Emmitt Smith could get by.
Rod Smith was the injured Carolina player. coming off to the sideline. 12 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Again, a reminder, tonight game 4, the Atlanta Braves against the San Diego Padres, 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific. San Diego shocking everybody with their dominance. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Dallas Cowboys 24, Carolina 14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. (24-14) as you look at Troy Aikman over on the sideline in a jovial mood.
He's happy, isn't he? I mean, you know, part of it is he wants that collarbone to heal, and then but he's a competitor too. He wants to be out there, but as long as everything is going well and they don't need him, then he can let it heal. Garrett. I'll tell you, that's what I said earlier in the game, that I really am impressed with Jason Garrett. Is he's always done this as a backup quarterback, not just throwing that dink and dunk, but throwing the ball deep. And you see there, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, he's a tough guy. He gets the pressure. Les Miller was 69, was coming straight up the middle, and he stepped right into Les Miller to throw that ball deep.
2nd and 10. Flag on the play. Yesterday we spoke to Cowboy quarterback Jason Garrett about receiving advice from injured quarterback Troy Aikman.
Well, he's just the kind of guy who obviously has a great deal of experience and a great deal of knowledge about football, but he's never been someone who's very burdensome with information during a ball game. When he says something, it's usually very pertinent and right on the mark. It's something I definitely listen to.
That last penalty was illegal hands to the face. So that'll give the Cowboys a first down in good field position here. And again, the thing that I think Jason Garrett does that a lot of backup quarterbacks really doesn't do is he come out and he has an attack mode about him, not just a let's just get through the game.
Emmitt Smith picking his way left side.
You know, one thing about Chan Gailey too, and the way that he calls plays, if he finds a weakness, he stays at it. I mean, they found something. They found Emmitt Smith running to that left side is one thing, and then throwing deep on him, and then working over where Doug Evans is. So whatever weakness the Carolina Panthers have shown, the Dallas Cowboys have eventually gotten to go after that weakness.
Chan Gailey has shown them consistency as a person week after week. Most of them really like that. Emmitt Smith to the 20.
And and that was one of the things that the Cowboys needed. I mean, they got to a point, they won a Super Bowl, and then they started to go downhill. They were in disarray, and they needed someone like Chan Gailey to come in. I mean, someone who would give them a strong organization, would give them discipline, would give them those types of things that have been brought back to the Cowboys.
And Gailey is not an outspoken guy. He answers your questions, but doesn't elaborate.
But he's a no-nonsense guy.
Yep. Chris Warren has taken Emmitt's place. The pass intended for Michael Irvin. That one looked out of sync.
Yeah, well, they're not throwing deep on third down. I mean, the thing we were talking about, Jason Garrett, he does attack, but most of his attacking has been on first down and second down, and then on the third down they've been going for that shorter type stuff to get first downs, and that hasn't been as effective as the going deep stuff.
Cunningham 1 out of 2. He hit one from 27. He hits this one from 38. And Dallas increases their lead. Shane Gailey likes it. Troy Aikman likes it.
Oh, Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Kinko's, the new way to office. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. And by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
Dallas 27, Carolina 14. Dallas kicks off. Michael Bates again will return. The Dallas coverage by Jeff Ogden. All he had to do is wait.
The Cowboys are really, I was going to say, the Cowboys have really stepped up in all areas. They got their offense going, their defense going, the special teams is doing an excellent job of coverage.
Carolina 1st and 10 at their own 21. Beuerlein is 16 out of 17. This time he's chased and got rid of it. That one's incomplete, and there's a flag on the play. Leon Lett went immediately for the official.
Yeah, and the official is a referee who's going to call holding against the Panthers. You know, they have the umpire behind the defense who calls holding, and then they also have the referee behind the offense who watches the quarterback and the offensive line.
Holding. Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
That's Frank Garcia right here, and again he's blocking Leon Lett. So the referee is watching through to this. Frank Garcia was a little late. You see that? Yep. Leon Lett beat him off the snap. So then when he beat him, he had to put his arm up there to stop him because he didn't get his feet moving.
And that's why Leon Lett went for the official. 3 wide receivers set up. They run a draw play, or try to, and the Cowboys swarm on it. Coming up, Michelle Kwan and some of the world's finest skaters meet in the first and hottest new major skating event of the season. Don't miss the first Union Grand Slam of skating following football today on Fox. Check your local listing.
You know, Leon Lett is so quick. I mean, that's why they call him the big cat. But you know, he made that play where you see he beat Frank Garcia out of his stance. Then on that last down, he did the same thing. I mean, he got penetration, and there was no place to run.
Beuerlein back.
Here he comes again.
Leon Lett, the ball's loose. William Floyd got the rebound and saved a touchdown.
Yeah, this is a Leon Lett series here, Pat.
Yep.
Yeah, we watch him here now. He's going to come to the outside. You see, it's going to be a stunt. He starts inside, then watch him. You see the cross here, and then he comes to the outside, and he's right on Steve Beuerlein. So that's 3 plays in a row by Leon Lett.
So quick.
The first 2 by quickness, and that one by a stunt, where Kavika Pittman comes to the inside. Leon Lett twists around him to the outside.
3rd and 26. That was ruled a fumble. Here's Beuerlein on the draw play. Nothing doing. Anthony Johnson.
We were wondering how long Anthony Johnson was going to play, or how long Fred Lane wouldn't play. I think we found out Fred Lane didn't start because of disciplinary reasons. He missed the airplane last night. I think the answer is Fred Lane is not going to play in today's game.
Here is your
Dion knows now. He is great, because he's waiting for the ball at midfield, and at some point they're going to have to punt the ball to Deion Sanders.
This might be the point. This is one he can handle if he can get to it. Short kick out of bounds, and that's what it does to your punter, having a guy like Deion back there. There's a flag on this play. You try to kick it away from him, and you become less effective. Holding against Dallas, and that's going to give Carolina a first down.
Yeah, because Carolina had tough field position there, because their punter usually gets 15 yards back from the snapper. He didn't have his full 15, so I think that was part of it too.
Joe Avizano.
Holding during the kick, number 20, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it would have been a first down if it was before the kick. After the kick, now the Cowboys have the ball, so it'll be 10 yards from there.
Right. At Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys leading. Check their second half defense allowed 8 scores, 5 touchdowns, 3 field goals, 10 drives. That's not a very happy second half.
Yeah, and that's, you know, they get behind and then the hole in the dam breaks, and that's what makes the team 0-4, maybe after this 0-5.
That's Emmitt Smith, and there's a flag on this play. Mike Barrow made the stop. Holding against Dallas this time.
Dallas has really played up until this point here a very clean, effective game. I mean, they haven't done a lot of
offense. Number 79, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down, first down.
Number 79 is Eric Williams. We saw earlier where Jason Peter got a penalty for hands to the face against him. And now you're going to see Eric Williams, unless that left hand just pulled his guy down. I'm not exactly sure where the holding was. You know, there's an old saying in the NFL, it's been around forever, that if you want to, on a running game, you could call holding every play, running or passing.
That's Michael Irvin on the move, and the running play straight ahead to Emmitt Smith. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Eagles offense looking a little better here in the fourth. Rodney Peete play action finds rookie tight end Kasim Cinceno from Syracuse. Eagles on top of the Skins 17-6. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
I remember that Cinceno. Yeah. That was one of the guys that Ray Rhodes liked. He was came in, he lost a lot of weight and came into training camp, and he's been impressing that Eagle coaching staff since day one.
Tough times in Washington. Here's Jason Garrett. Up the middle and open is Ernie Mills. He's one of those guys that doesn't seem to be spectacular when you watch him, but he does spectacular things.
And he's Chan Gailey's guy. I mean, he was with Chan Gailey at Pittsburgh. It's interesting, last year he was with Carolina, but he's one of those guys that is very effective, very efficient, knows the offense better than any player on this team, and knows how to get open and do something about it. Like I said, he was with the Panthers a year ago.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that the Panthers were trying to do all day, you know, is to get some penetration, and they haven't done it. And that time was Michael Barrow,
right?
And you're just going to see him. He's just going to run right through. You know, they're going to start here, and here comes Barrow. He just runs right through, unblocked, and then, you know, gets in the backfield, get that run before it got started.
There's a flag on that last play. That play by Barrow.
Holding. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's against Tim Morabito. Maybe that's how Barrow came so clean.
Yeah, that's one of the jobs. In fact, Jeff Brady was talking to us about that last night. Is they wanted the defensive line to hold the linemen up. You grab a hold of them so they can't get to the linebacker. And that was Tim Morabito, who was the nose tackle, and he's trying not to let that center get out on the linebacker. And as you say, maybe that's how Michael Barrow ran free there. They've been trying to do that all day.
Yeah. First and 10, Cowboys at the 25-yard line of Carolina. Dallas leading 27-14. Handoff is to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt breaks one tackle. And is taken down after a gain of 3 by Tony Veland.
You know, one thing that the Cowboys haven't done today that I'm a little surprised at, and Jason Garrett, being the cool head that he is, could do it, is they haven't given him a lot of hard count, because Carolina has had a lot of problems. And we talk about their injuries, we talk about their quarterback and all these things, and they've also had trouble jumping off sides on hard count.
The injured Panther player. And this will stop the clock. With Dallas leading. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the Washington Redskins look to slow down the undefeated Minnesota Vikings. Then these Cowboys head to the Windy City to battle the Bears, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Check your local listing. Second down, about 7. 7:45 left to play. Dallas leading 27-14. Irvin in motion. Pitches back to Chris Warren. Warren rolls about a yard shy of a first down. It would appear Mike Barrow made the stop.
Yeah, we were talking about Jason Garrett and the type of things that he does. He's even helped this area. You know, in 1997, they ranked 29th when they got inside the red zone. Now they're 9th, and today they have 3 touchdowns. And again, because he has loosened this defense up by throwing deep. In fact, he has 7 completions today of over 20 yards. Now, you don't see that in a lot of backup quarterbacks in this league. You don't see it in a lot of starting quarterbacks.
Almost none. This is Garrett sneaking for the first down. The ball is loose. And Rod Smith has it. And Rod Smith gets into Dallas territory to the 43. All of a sudden, on a quarterback sneak, the ball popped out away from Jason Garrett, and the complexion of everything changes.
The last time I saw that, Detroit Lions against Green Bay Packers, Scott Mitchell goes on a quarterback sneak and fumbles. You watch him here. He's going to start out here to the left. Now, a quarterback doesn't run with the ball a lot, and they really don't know how to protect it. All he has to do, get a little push, get that first down, and get down on the ground.
Carolina takes over in Dallas territory.
See, on that fumble, Jason Garrett has the ball out here. On a quarterback sneak, you should have the ball in front of you and both hands over it. Now watch it get knocked out there, and you say, how did it get knocked out? We're going to see after this play how and who knocked it out.
Steve Beuerlein in Carolina in Dallas territory, and Beuerlein goes deep. Flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. Intended for Ismail.
Yeah, we talked about the things that they knew that they could do, and I think the Panthers knew that they could throw the ball deep to Raghib Ismail. And then again, we talked about how poor their field position. They just haven't had a chance to go to work.
First down, by the foul.
Interference called against Darren Woodson.
They wanted to get their speed on Darren Woodson. Here he starts. You see it's a zone. Kevin Smith passes him off. Here's Darren Woodson here. He just gets a step on Woodson. Woodson had to do something, but because he didn't look back, that was pass interference.
So it's first and goal with about the 3. Carolina getting back in this contest very quickly. William Floyd stopped. Short yardage. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Mike Roig. Broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producer Bob Muller. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Associate director was Jennifer Love. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Boren and David Hill. Second and goal. Beuerlein. Touchdown, Carolina. Floyd.
Yeah, that's another San Francisco 49er play. That's that bootleg off the crossing action and hitting the fullback. It all started. In fact, you see Beuerlein, and hear what he said down there. He said, we're still going to win this thing. All they need is another touchdown here, but it all started when the quarterback sneak by the Cowboys. Michael Barrow made a heck of a play of knocking that ball out. And then Steve Beuerlein makes a couple throws. They get the touchdown.
What looked comfortable for Dallas now is uncomfortable for Dallas.
Oh, and that's uncomfortable for Carolina.
Chad Henning's got a hand on it, and it's no good.
because Steve Beuerlein was just saying we're going to win this game because he knew all he needed was another touchdown. But watch Chad Hennings. He's in the middle. This is what you try and do. You try and get a push in the middle and then a rush from the outside. You get the push, then you get your hand up. That's Chad Hennings with his right hand up. Boy, is that a big play, because now there's a 7-point difference. Here it is from the end zone. You get the push, you get the hand up. Let's go back and watch Michael Barrow and the play that he made that got Carolina in position again. See him come in right there, and his hand knocks the ball out of Jason Garrett's arms.
And Rod Smith picked it up. Here's the touchdown.
You see, it's the fake, then it's the bootleg, and then it's the pass to the fullback in the flat. Seen Steve Young do that so many years. In fact, the guy that he would throw that same pattern to was William Floyd when he played with the 49ers.
What looked so comfortable for the Dallas Cowboys is now in question.
Yeah, but that extra point block there gives them a little more comfort, because if Carolina had 21, then if they could stop him and get a touchdown, that could beat them. Now they need a touchdown to tie him.
Inevitable that a missed extra point, whenever it happens, comes back to play some sort of a significant role. Down goes Kevin Mathis just outside the 20.
Now, if you watch Steve Beuerlein, and he was up there saying that we're going to win this game, but he was the last guy to know that they got a touchdown, because by the time he gets knocked up and gets knocked heels over head and stands up, he finally realizes it. He knew when it left here and looked pretty good, he thought.
And he's certainly done his job today.
Yeah, they couldn't ask for any more from either backup quarterback, I think, than they got from these two backup quarterbacks today.
Chris Warren's the deep back here behind Jason Garrett. Warren takes the handoff and skips up for about 8 yards.
You know what Chan Gailey is thinking now, and the Cowboys, they're thinking, don't give them the ball back again. You know, I mean, let's just run some time off the clock here, because this guy, Steve Beuerlein, is hot today. And with Raghib Ismail, he has some speed that can do some quick damage to you. So now what the Cowboys are thinking is ball control, don't let him get back. Look at those numbers on Beuerlein.
3 touchdowns. 17 out of 18, 1 incompletion all day long.
That's amazing.
It really is. Pitch is back to Warren. And Chris Warren will not get enough. In fact, he lost maybe a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation for Dallas.
You know, you talk about resiliency or being able to bounce back. This Carolina team is really something, because I mean, I know they're 0-4 and they could very well be 0-5, but whatever happens to them, they just bounce back from. I mean, we saw it in the Green Bay Packer game. They get ahead, then they get behind. They have injury. Then right at the end, they had one shot to beat the Packers.
Just ran out of timeouts. 3rd down, about 4.
Whereas last week against Atlanta was another story.
Yeah. Now this is not a 1st down. Chris Warren. 4 minutes left to play. The highest completion percentage in a regular season game. Vinny Testaverde, 91.3, 21 out of 23. With Cleveland against the Rams back in 1993, the minimum of 20 attempts. Beuerlein is closing in on that.
And you can see he's like a caged lion down there. He wants the ball back, and he's going to get it back right here. And he knows that he has some things going.
That's Winslow Oliver at his own 20. And the coverage is excellent. Cowboys do their job. Tonight it's game 4 of the NLCS, as Denny Nagel looks to keep the Braves postseason hopes alive when he squares off with Joey Hamilton and the Padres in San Diego. Coverage begins, don't forget, tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on Fox. Your home of the 1998 World Series. Steve Beuerlein checks into the huddle. First and 10 at their own 31 for Carolina. Beuerlein has Floyd behind him. Fires complete for a 9-yard gain.
You know, Steve Beuerlein has been hot all day, and he's a lot better when he has good field position like he has now. I mean, the only thing that really slowed him down hasn't been this Dallas Cowboy offense. It's been penalties and poor field position. But when he's at good field position like he has right now, he's almost perfect.
2nd and 1. The clock running less than 3 minutes now. 27-20. Dallas leads. Incomplete. Behind Floyd. That'll stop the clock with 2:49 left, and Beuerlein's 2nd incomplete pass of all day.
Yeah, and they have plenty of time. In fact, what they have to think here with 3rd and short is to get a first down. If they don't get a first down, they're going to have to punt. I mean, this isn't a situation where you would go for it on 4th down at this point in the game or the field or the score.
3rd and 1. Beuerlein back to throw it. Incomplete.
I don't see the Panthers coming out and punt, but I think in this situation, with over 2 minutes to go, and you have all of your timeouts left, I don't think that you have to go for it on 4th down here. I think this is a punting situation. With this score and this situation, I think they should punt.
Well, they're not going to punt. I wonder if the fact that they're 0-4 has anything to do with it.
It doesn't make any difference. I think you still play the percentages to get the ball back.
Beuerlein will throw it. If he has time, he's chased by Leon Lett. He doesn't see Leon Lett, but he'll get the first down and get out of bounds.
Who would have thought of all the things in the big 4th down play? That was great coverage. Leon Lett was coming in there, and that Steve Beuerlein would run for a first down. Here's Leon Lett right here, and he's the only guy that's getting any pressure.
Yeah.
And he's there, and he's the guy that flushed Steve Beuerlein out. And right now, again, Beuerlein, not known as a runner, does see where the first down is.
That's the very thing that Dom Capers said that Leon Lett could do, and he was afraid would do, is just walk his offensive lineman, his guards, back into the passer.
And the best news for Carolina, besides getting the first down, is that Leon Lett's out of there.
Pass thrown deep, intended for Ismail, and there's a flag on the play down at the Dallas 30.
And it's going to be against the Cowboys. Now, if the ball was in the air, it'll be pass interference. If it was before the ball was in the air, it'll be defensive holding. Pass interference will put the ball down where the pass interference occurred. Holding is just 5 yards automatic first down.
Offense number 67. Illegal contact. Defense number 26. Penalties are offset.
Offsetting.
Repeat the down. First down.
And so they had one. They had one against both sides. But here's going to be where they're throwing the ball. You see the safeties are a little mixed up before. It's a little out and up. That's the illegal contact right there on Kevin Smith. I'll tell you that, you know, Raghib Ismail is a dangerous guy in this game, and if Carolina's going to get a big play, I would say it's going to be to Raghib Ismail, obviously against Kevin Smith, not Deion Sanders.
You can see why they call him Rocket. Here's Beuerlein back to throw. He gets it up to Muhammad, and Muhammad gets out of bounds at the Dallas 41.5-yard line. Stops the clock. Ismail all day long.
Well, you see that he just uses his speed, and that Steve Beuerlein, it's obvious, has a great feeling for him. Here, because of his speed, I think that's why he got that big cushion.
Yeah. First down, Carolina, and here comes the flag from the sideline.
False start.
False start.
Offense number 85.
Wesley Walls jumped a little early.
Down.
Carolina at the Dallas 47 now. Make it to 46.
Well, that's the thing that, you know, that Steve Beuerlein is looking for. We know for the big play, he's looking for Raghib Ismail. And I think for the shorter plays, looking for Muhammad and maybe Wesley Walls, and that could have been Wesley Walls' play.
1st and 15. Beuerlein back to throw it. Has time. Gets the pass to Anthony Johnson, who gets maybe 2 yards. But the clock continues to run. Carolina had all 3 of their timeouts left. They've just used 1, so they have 2 left plus the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and when you get to that situation, you really say to yourself that you have 4 timeouts. So the thing that you need is some first downs, because they take a timeout now, then like you say, they're going to get their second timeout with a 2-minute warning, and then they have 2 timeouts left. So in essence, on the board it says 3, but they do have 4.
Coming up, Michelle Kwan and some of the world's finest skaters meet in the first and hottest new major skating event of the season. Don't miss the First Union Grand Slam of skating following football today on Fox. Check your local listings. 2:16 left.
Well, the way Steve Beuerlein is throwing here, Pat, we could be talking overtime.
It could be.
I mean, Michelle Kwan may have to wait a while.
I think she will.
Keep warming up.
Beuerlein in the pocket, throws up the middle, incomplete. Intended for Walls, and broken up. 2:11 left. 27-20 Dallas.
You just have the feeling that those are the 2 areas that he's going to go to. Wesley Walls, normally a tight end, but he can go anywhere. He can be in a 3-point stance, a 2-point stance as he is here, and you see him get bumped. Now he's coming under control, and that was good coverage. I mean, Steve Beuerlein forced that a little, because really at no point was Wesley Walls ever open. Good play by Darren Woodson.
Exactly right. 3rd and 13. Beuerlein retreats, gets away from Leon Lett, fires, incomplete. The pass is intercepted by Deion Sanders. He just stole it. And Deion to midfield. And down he goes.
Amazing. All day they don't throw on him. That's only the 2nd time they threw a pass towards Deion Sanders all day. And what does he do with it? Wins the game for the Cowboys.
He just took it away. Less than 2 left.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 33.
Yeah, it is.
27-20, the Cowboys lead Carolina.
Only the 2nd pass of the day that Steve Beuerlein has attempted to throw on Deion Sanders. And what does he do but save what looked like a Carolina rally and give Dallas the ball back of the interception. Chris Warren, Carolina timeout.
You know, here's Mark Carrier right here, and here's Deion Sanders here, and really it's an out. Deion Sanders is here, but you're going to see the reaction that he makes. I mean, not only can he cover, but watch how much ground right here that he makes up. He's turned around, he makes up that ground, gets in front, and catches the ball. I mean, there's 3 things there. I mean, getting back, having position, losing position, getting it again, getting in front, making the catch, and then, of course, after he catches it, I mean, he's the greatest returner in football.
Yesterday, we spoke to Cowboy cornerback Deion Sanders about returning interceptions.
It's sort of like a punt return with slower people, because you got those big offensive linemen, you got your defense. I wish all our guys would just lay down so I could see the field. Then I could make my moves, and I'm always looking for the cutback.
Straight ahead is Warren. Carolina with 1 more timeout.
You know, it's an interesting thing, Jason Garrett, and how well he's played. We mentioned how well both backup quarterbacks have played. And Dom Capers, the job that he's done keeping this team together, and Steve Beuerlein stepping in there. He didn't even know until Wednesday. I mean, he thought he was a backup quarterback. Kerry Collins walks in the quarterback meeting and tells Steve Beuerlein, "You're starting this week." And Steve, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, thought it was a joke.
Yeah. Sprinted to practice because he was late to practice.
Yeah.
He had to sprint out.
He was late to practice, and then the rest of the team didn't know. He walked in the huddle. Everyone said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "There's a new sheriff in town." And I'll tell you, he played his heart out today.
Don't forget, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the Washington Redskins look to slow down the undefeated Minnesota Vikings. And these Cowboys head to the Windy City to battle the Bears, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. So check your local listings.
We'll be up there in Chicago with this Dallas Cowboy team again.
Is the Madden Cruiser departing as soon as the game is over?
Yeah, the old Madden Cruiser. I can get the new Madden Cruiser in 2 weeks. In fact, I was supposed to get the new Madden Cruiser tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, building a cruiser is like building a house. You know, well, it's going to be a week here, a week there. So now they're 2 more weeks behind.
I know of what you speak. This is Warren. And now the Carolina Panthers have no more timeouts. So not bad by backup quarterbacks. Beuerlein 20 out of 25. Garrett 14 out of 22.
Yeah, and they threw for some yardage too. I mean, 247 and 287 and touchdowns. Steve Beuerlein had 3 touchdown passes, and Jason Garrett had 2 touchdown passes. You know, the interesting thing is that Jason Garrett's only been in the league 6 years. Troy Aikman is 10 years. But Jason Garrett is a year older than Troy.
But Jason made some stops in other locations.
Well, he did. I mean, he was in the World League. He was an assistant coach at Princeton.
In Canada?
Yeah, he played in Canada. He was in New Orleans for a year. So he said he never thought of being anything except a football player.
Offense.
Well, his dad was a player, a football coach. In fact, his dad was a coach with the Giants when I was there playing.
And then his dad is a scout for the Cowboys. And he has 2 brothers that are NFL coaches.
Right. Emmitt Smith, 112 rushing yards. Michael Irvin, 146 receiving yards. Dallas is 18-0 when both of them have 100-plus yard games.
Or maybe the opposite is true. When the Cowboys win, they have big games.
Yeah. That sort of goes together, doesn't it?
Yeah. If they win, then they're going to have those things happen.
Clock stops with 51 seconds left now. Long way to go for the Panthers and Steve Beuerlein.
I've always thought that about running. You know, they'll say if they run 30 times or more, they win. Well, if that were true, all you do is run the first 30 plays and win. But because you're winning, you run 30 times.
Right. Statistics. In almost every case, you can do what you want to with them.
Statistics are made to be manipulated.
Yeah. 3-man front for Dallas on defense. It's 1st and 10 Carolina at their own 23. Beuerlein pointing. Coakley faking a blitz, but he backs out. And Beuerlein throws up the middle incomplete. Stops the clock with 46 seconds left. Mark Carrier, the intended receiver.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to make them do it the hard way now. They're just rushing 3 and dropping 8. So he's going to have to find some small holes in a big zone.
Big Leon Lett, as the weeks pass, he's been bothered by a bad knee that he hurt in preseason. Can't practice, but he's playing more every week. And as the weather cools off, he'll play more even than that. And he can be a devastating force.
Yeah, and they need that. I mean, because they don't really have. If Leon Lett isn't playing like that, the Cowboys don't have a dominant player in the front 7.
They have to do it with tricks, and blitzes and things.
And when they did, remember that one series where Leon Lett just took over.
Yep.
And he's the only guy that they have on this defense in the front 7 that can take over a game.
Jerry Jones, who owns the Cowboys, has been down on the sideline for almost the entire game.
What do you think he's doing down there? Coaching him up?
I think he'd like to.
Well, I think he's just down there. He wants to be close to his team.
Beuerlein gets it up to Muhammad. And be a first down. It'll move the sticks, but they don't have any timeouts left. There's Mr. Jones.
Ray Jones is saying, I know Beuerlein, and I probably should have given him a better deal on that lot out there at Starwood, and he would have taken it a little easier on us today, but he really wouldn't. I'm just kidding about that because Steve Beuerlein is such a competitor. There's probably no one in this stadium that wanted to win this game more today than Steve Beuerlein, and there's a lot of competitors here.
And you play golf with this guy. You talk about competitors.
You know, coming back to the town you live in, coming back to a team you used to play with, starting for a quarterback who says he doesn't have his heart in the game anymore, and I think he wanted to come out here and show that his heart is in the game and how to compete.
This one he's got to start thinking about throwing to the sideline now. Pass is complete. And they move into the Dallas 37-yard line. First down. Mark Carrier made the catch. But the clock's running. They hurry. They're going to have to spike it and stop it.
Yes.
And he does. 6 seconds.
See, and he has to take a shot here. He has to take a shot for the end zone. Then we have to remember that there's only 6 seconds, and the Panthers don't have any timeouts, but the game cannot end on a defensive penalty.
Right.
So that would be the way that they could get some more time. I mean, one, they have time to get a playoff here, and then two, if there's a penalty on defense, they get another play even though time runs out.
So you got to launch it close to the end zone. Here's Beuerlein. He's going to have time, and he fires on the Hail Mary, and it's out of the end zone. And Steve Beuerlein discouraged, but certainly not ashamed, and he has indeed nothing to be ashamed about.
He competed. He just needed a little more time or some more timeouts or something to get his work done, because he was hanging in there that whole time, and he gave those Cowboys all the fight they wanted today.
And right now, let's send you down to Mike Ducey.
All right, Pat, we're with Jason Garrett, the Cowboys quarterback. Jason, tell me how you think your offense operated today.
I thought we did a nice job throughout the ball game. Obviously, a couple turnovers, the fumble at the end of the game certainly didn't put us in a real good light, but I thought for the most part we were able to move it, running it, and throwing it, so I felt pretty good about it.
You're 3-1 as a starter now. John and Pat talked during the game about how the Cowboys offense remains in the attack mode, even with you at quarterback instead of Troy Aikman. How important is that to the success of this offense?
Well, Coach Gailey and Coach Geist do a great job preparing me to play, and they never put me in a situation that I can't handle. Obviously, as well as we've been running the ball the last couple of weeks, really helps a quarterback every week.
I know you want Troy Aikman back and healthy, but in a way, are you going to miss this, the excitement of starting in the NFL in big games?
Well, I'm really enjoying it, but obviously this is Troy's team, and when he comes back, he's the guy, and I'll just be ready to play.
All right, Jason, thank you.
Thank you, Deuce.
All right, let's go back to Pat and John.
Big Eric Williams striding to the locker room. The final score here at Texas Stadium is the Dallas Cowboys 27, the Carolina Panthers 20. Coming up on the post-game report, we'll have a complete wrap-up of all the scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have updated stats. That's all next on the post-game report.